They laughed. The aliens always laughed. In the council chambers of the Interstellar Accord, where representatives of 100 species gathered under a ceiling of starlight, the topic of humanity's peculiar obsession with companions had once again surfaced. They weren't soldiers. They weren't weapons. They weren't even tools. They were, by alien standards, useless. Creatures bred for company, loyalty, and affection. Dogs. When the images of humans walking side by side with their pets first circulated, the galaxy found it hilarious. The Tarkelians, who grew offspring in nutrient pods and abandoned them to the wilderness to prove their worth, sneered. The Korthai, with their hive queen obedience and brutal efficiency, chittered mockingly. The Viren delegates even put out Hollywood parodies. Humans cradling their dogs like infants, feeding them, talking to them as if they understood. And the dogs, those simple-minded quadrupeds, responded with wagging tails, slobber, and unthinking loyalty. They trained predators to sleep in their homes, one alien scoffed. They pampered them with food instead of eating them. Another jeered. They carried them into battle? What possible use are they? The laughter never stopped. It might have gone on forever, if not for the day someone threatened human and their dog. Lieutenant Kara Miles of Earth's diplomatic corps was assigned to the edge of the Carith sector, tasked with mediating a trade dispute between the Tarkelians and the Zarn. She was young, sharp, with the kind of patience diplomats needed to survive endless cycles of alien posturing. She also had a companion at her side, a German shepherd named Rook. The Tarkelians ridiculed him on sight. "Do you bring a hunting beast to the negotiating table, human?" Their lead representative hissed, mandibles clicking in amusement. "Will it gnaw the scraps of your failure when you lose?" Kara only smiled. "He's not here to fight. He's here because he's family." That only made them laugh harder. The Zarn were no better, with their fluid forms rippling in amusement. "Attachment to lesser life is a weakness," they said. "When we molt, we consume our spawn that are defective. Would you weep over your pet if it fell?" Without hesitation, Kara answered, scratching behind Rook's ear. The dog pressed close to her leg, golden eyes steady, ears alert. The aliens didn't understand. Not yet. The talks were tense. The Tarkelians accused the Zarn of border violations. The Zarn countered with claims of illegal mining. Kara mediated as best she could, but hostilities simmered just beneath the surface. And then came the spark. On the third day, a Tarkelian warrior entered the chamber, furious that his people had conceded even a fraction of their claim. His compound eyes fixed on Kara, the human sitting calmly with her dog. Rage distorted his posture. "You bring this soft creature here to mock us," he roared. His spined arm lashed out, striking Kara across the face, sending her sprawling across the cold metal floor. The chamber fell silent. Diplomats froze, shocked. The Tarkelian had just assaulted a human envoy, a violation of every treaty, every principle of Accord law. But no one saw what happened next coming. Rook moved. There was no hesitation, no calculation, just loyalty, raw and absolute. The German shepherd's body blurred into motion, a streak of muscle and fury. His teeth sank deep into the warrior's arm, just below the jagged spines, clamping down with the force of a steel trap. The Tarkelian shrieked, thrashing, but the dog held fast, growling deep from his chest. His eyes burned with a singular purpose. Protect. Guard surged forward, weapons raised, but no one dared fire. Kara, dazed and bleeding, scrambled upright, shouting, "Rook down!" But he wouldn't let go. Not yet. The Tarkelian raised his other claw to strike her again, and Rook lunged higher, jaws closing at the alien's throat. He brought a predator's savagery that hadn't been seen on civilized worlds in centuries. The warrior crashed to the floor, writhing, pinned beneath 100 pounds of furious canine devotion. The chamber erupted in chaos. Later, the council would review the recordings again and again. They would slow the footage, analyzing every detail. The flash of teeth, the rippling of muscle, the primal roar that echoed off the chamber walls. What shocked them most wasn't just the violence. It was the intent. Every move Rook made was calculated not for survival, not for food, but for defense. He wasn't fighting for himself. He was fighting for her. No species in the galaxy had ever seen such a thing. Creatures fought for dominance, for hunger, for reproduction. But this This was something alien to them. Loyalty so fierce it eclipsed reason. Love so deep it became a weapon. The Tarkelian warrior survived, barely. His pride shredded along with his mandibles. His people demanded the dog be destroyed. The Zarn seconded the demand. But humanity refused. Kara stood before the council with a bandage across her cheek, her hand resting on Rook's head. He sat calmly at her side now, silent, watching with alert eyes. "You mock us for our companions," she said quietly, her voice carrying to every corner of the chamber. "You laugh at what you don't understand. You think loyalty is weakness. But hear this and remember it well. You can threaten me, and I will fight you. You can threaten Earth, and humanity will rise to meet you. But if you threaten one of us before our dogs..." She looked down, and Rook looked up at her, tail thumping once against the floor. "Then you'll understand why humanity is feared." The story spread like wildfire. Across the stars, beings replayed the footage in awe and disbelief. They saw a creature throw itself against a predator many times its size with no hesitation, no fear, only the unshakable drive to protect its human. And they began to wonder, if this was the loyalty of humanity's pets, what kind of loyalty must the humans themselves carry? The laughter stopped. Forever,